I'm here with my first ever anime slash manga review, and I'm going to be talking about the highly controversial Chimera Ant Arc, and just giving my thoughts and opinions on it. And I'm actually going to take it a step further and build and how and why that arc actually makes sense. And I know it's like heavily like, this doesn't make any sense, this doesn't fit for the theme of the show, but I'm actually going to maybe take it a step back and explain how it actually all makes sense and what it in the depth of why it needed to happen. So let's just start right from the beginning, right? So, this is all my opinion. I just want to say this is all my opinion. What I think Hunter x Hunter is trying to portray, and, right from the get-go, people watch the show and they go, this is a really good show. It's a nice little story, a little adventure, not too action-ish. But there's plenty of action. But what I watched when I first saw it / read it is this is a coming-of-age story. And this is about putting your hope and trust into something, and sometimes maybe even getting let down, and being blind to things. There's a lot of like blind faith. There's a lot of themes in this story that I don't think people really may have noticed right away. For example, what I mean by blind faith is the Hunter exam arc is blind faith, right? Following, think about it. The boys trusted two guides that turned out to be guides at the very end, that led them through the exam. And they went to I'm going blank on the arena, Heaven's Arena, and they meet another person who's a part of the Hunter exam. They think it's all blind faith. Now, I'm going to take it a step back. So, leaving the island, that's a boy leaving home. And, the Hunter exam, first thing away, he's meeting his first friend outside, right? Like, look at where we're going. Look at how the story's starting. He's leaving home. His we don't really know their relationship. I guess that's like his aunt or whatever, his cousin. That's a big step. She doesn't want him to leave home. The danger's out there. And then he meets his first friend. And and there's an interesting start to this, right? What draws all the people to Gon? His innocence and his light. And then what's his duo? Dark. Negative. Not hopeful. Killua. He's the opposite of that. Why do you think that next arc that follows is the darkness, right? Killua, we're going to save him. What's saving him? The light. The hope. And what is that instilling in him? What does Silva say to Killua before he's gonna leave? You're gonna come back to me. What do you think he means by that? He's saying that what Gon is showing you isn't who you are. You are a negative being. You like the darkness. You're gonna come back to this side. And that's like the recurring theme, because look at Kurapika, look at Leorio. These people they've seen the harshness of the world. Look at Leorio's story. His story is his friend died and he couldn't save him, and now he wants to become a doctor to save people. He's seen the harshness of the world. Kurapika, his family, they all got killed. He's seen the harshness of the world. Killua, his whole family does kill people. Gon? He doesn't. Look at how they portray it. He comes from this beautiful island. It's nice. He's never faced any adversity. There's a reason for that. So paralleling that with the Chimera Ant Arc, that's the first time he has to face peril, adversity, serious outcomes. There's a reason why the kite death is so important, and the breaking of the arm is so significant after the end of the Hunter exam arc, because he's thinking, I'm this way, and what happens and what I say will get done, right? It's my way. And you know what? Everybody's laughing. It's all fun, and then the dude just like, I'm gonna lose. But he says in there, is it Han or Hanzo? He says, if this was not in the room, I would just kill you, and this would be over with, right? Do you not find that a coincidence that this has been set up from the very beginning that there was going to be something like that. Right from the beginning, I knew this was going to be a story about Gon growing. It's not a coincidence that his dad is... A lot of people maybe taking the test and they're saying, like, oh, his dad just, like, coincidentally... No, his dad's seeing if he is even able to really go through this life. Is his son going to be blind to the evils, to the world outside of home? Can he really attest and really go through the struggles to become a hunter, to do what I do and to want to do what I do? And so there we go. We have the parallels, light and dark. The breaking in the arm. It's because it's like, oh, this is what I would do to you. In this test, that's what I can do. Moving forward. The growth, the bond that they had in the Heavens Arena, him and Killua, Gon and Killua, that's the bond, right? And then you have the parallel with the dark. There's always some darkness paralleled with what Gon and Killua are going through. Then moving forward, we get to the Greed. Greed Island that's where the growth comes in, right? They're like, wow, I'm believing in myself. Killua's like, wow, I finally found hope. He's bounced back. I found hope. But that's why the Chimera Ant Arc is so significant. What happens? He doubts. He gets scared. He leaves. Gon's like, you're not even my friend. Like, you see what I mean? Like they built this up to show you the parallels. And now I'm going to take it a step further. I know, I think this is another opinion based, but moving forward, we know we're going to get to the Dark Continent. Now, the Chimera Ant Arc puts the Dark Continent in such, like, it's just such a shame we're not going to get it. But if you really think about what that Chimera Ant Arc did for us, and a lot of people, they harp on, real time, it was only like 10 minutes, the whole arc was only in like, in a day, and it was drawn out, the narrators. There's a reason for that. And I think Togashi, the reason why he did that is because he wanted to paint a picture. Now, we know we're going to the Dark Continent, right? Ants. In real world, they're the lowest species, right? We don't think anything about ants, right? We're going to crush an ant, boom. So why do you think he chose an ant? And that's where a lot of people aren't taking a step into reading into the arc. He chose ants because that's what we view as the lowest species, right? You can crush an ant. But he showed how an ant from the Dark Continent can become one of the strongest things in the human world and can take over a continent like that, right? He showed that this is how severe and how scary the Dark Continent really truly is, that if an ant, the lowest level species that we can see, is now going to be almost a King Miriam in our world. Now imagine what is on that planet. What intelligent life? What animals are super intelligent? What is the meaning of human life, right? What is the meaning of a human? I know he tried to throw in a lot of different meanings there, right? Like, what is the meaning of humans? What is our view on good, evil, and everything like that? I understand that, but I'm just talking about from anime, manga, and I think the way he set it up, where we were going to go to the Dark Continent, and we were going to see the power level, the scaling increase immensely, and it was only going to get darker. People were only going to die. And we could see that by Kite's death. And then what happens when Kite's death happens? Gon's light finally broke. He finally broke. He couldn't ignore the darkness any longer. That's why that Chimera Ant Arc is so significant to me, and I think it's such an important growth, because when Gon and Killua say goodbye, that goodbye, if you really think about it, was a goodbye, because it was like, I don't know when I'll see you again. And if you really now rewatch it again from that viewpoint and watch it where this is light versus dark, they don't really know when they're going to see each other. They were there really truly to grow, but they were always at the core. There was always these issues, right? Lurio is putting it. That's why when Gon lost his powers and everything, it's because they needed him. That's something that you put all your trust and your hope into. I didn't want to rant too long about this, but this is my first anime manga review. Let me know what you think. I'm not saying I love the Chimera Ant arc. I think it was a great finish. I mean, it's not really a finish. I mean, I know the manga's still going on, but I just wanted to give a quick thought. I know there's a lot of anime manga channels, that have done review and they made it nice and fancy with slides and everything. But I just hope you can just bear with me, just talking about it, and just showing you all the different themes throughout the show. That it's really just a coming of age story, meeting friends, leaving home, growing, bonds, friendships, love, trust, betrayal, negative, light, dark, hope, and grief, all rolled into one story. And I think it's beautiful. I think it was beautifully done. Let me know what you think, and maybe if my reasoning for why the Chimera Ant arc made sense. Let me know and see if my analysis of what would potentially happen on the Dark Continent makes sense, because that means if the ants are, like I said, if the ants were a race that become kings in our world, what's going on in theirs, right? All right, guys, thank you very much for watching this video. Leave like, subscribe, comment, let me know what I need to do better. I appreciate anybody. All right.